This is your weekly report on corruption in the Philippine government. A barangay councillor was shot dead in Barangay Ranghe on Wednesday morning, the 11th of March. Police Captain June Saliwan, chief of the Penarubia Municipal Police Station, identified the victim as Ryan M. Chavez, 42, a first-term councillor of Barangay Rayang. Investigation said the victim was jogging when a man driving a motorcycle arrived and shot him in the back. The suspect fled and the victim was taken to a hospital where he was declared dead. Police recovered 4 empty .45 caliber shells in the area. Follow-up investigation and pursuit operation are ongoing. An employee of the Otan, Iloilo local government, classified by authorities as a high-value individual in the illegal drug trade, was arrested on Friday after yielding an estimated 2.17 million pesos worth of suspected meth or shabu during a buy-bust operation in Barangay Bari. Police identified the suspect only as alias Scope, 46, who works for the Otan Municipal Environment and Natural Resources Office. Operatives from the Iloilo Police Provincial Office, Provincial Drug Enforcement Unit, backed by the Otan Municipal Police Station and the Provincial Intelligence Unit, launched the operation at around 3:45 p.m. on Friday. The arrest followed nearly 2 weeks of strict intelligence monitoring aided by tips from local residents. During the operation, authorities confiscated 7 sachets of suspected meth weighing some 320 grams. The seized narcotics have an estimated value of 2,176,000 pesos. Operatives also recovered the buy-bust money. The suspect is currently under police custody and is slated to face formal drug-related complaints. A retired police officer was shot dead in Manila, prompting Mayor Francisco Isko Moreno Domagozo on Monday to offer a 500,000 pesos cash reward, not to informants, but to the driver of the motorcycle for him to surrender and stand witness against his companion. The gunman, identified as George Capistrano, the former officer, while on his way home Saturday night, was gunned down and robbed by 2 men aboard a motorcycle. Domagozo said this during his talk to the People live stream on social media, noting that the retired cop was a close friend. Domagozo addressed the driver of the motorcycle. "I am offering 500,000 pesos for you if you surrender. And if you surrender, we are also offering you entry into the witness protection program for yourself and your family. We can help you avail this in exchange for the quick resolution of the crime that happened," he added. The Manila mayor gave the gunman's motorcycle driver only 48 hours to accept the offer. Domagozo did not give further details as to the killing, and the Manila Police District has yet to respond to the inquirer's request for comment. However, Domagozo did claim the 2 men were connected to a criminal group whose modus operandi was to rob victims while riding in tandem aboard a motorcycle in various parts of Metro Manila. Moreover, the Manila mayor assured the public that the police were now tracking down both suspects in ongoing follow-up operations. "We will not stop. We will come after you. We will make sure, as I have promised and committed to the people of Manila, if you commit a crime in Manila, we will scour through the whole country to find you," Domagozo pointed out, speaking mostly in Filipino. Former Mayor Salvador Badang de Vinagracia Jr. of Calanog Town in central Iloilo province was arrested for a fatal hit-and-run accident on Sunday evening, the 15th of March. The New Lucena Municipal Police Station confirmed that de Vinagracia is in custody after the death of 20-year-old Vane Rodolfo Koy Koy Ideo. Police Lieutenant Joni Leruan, New Lucena MPS chief, said de Vinagracia was driving his Ford Raptor pickup truck when he hit Ideo on the highway in Barangay Pasal before 10 p.m. De Vinagracia panicked and fled. He was caught at the Uncar flyover in Pavia town. Ideo allegedly died on the spot as his motorcycle was dragged by de Vinagracia's vehicle. Leruan said that de Vinagracia will face charges of reckless imprudence resulting in homicide. The Ideo family is calling for justice. His life and memory deserve truth and accountability, said Rain Ideo in a Facebook post on Monday, the 16th of March. A town councillor is now under medical treatment after he was shot by riding in tandem gunmen along the national highway in Barangay Poblacion 8, Midsayap, Cotabato at around noon on Sunday, according to a police official. Captain Sammy Clarito, Deputy Chief of Midsayap Police, identified the victim as Councillor Alhamadi Sampalna Muhammad, 42, of Olandang village in Nabalorag town of the Bangsamoro Special Geographic Area. Muhammad is the town's first-ranked councillor. Clarito said Muhammad had just gotten out of the Toyota Fortuner, plate number NCY 3252. He was driving when the suspects, riding a Yamaha Sniper motorcycle, waylaid him and shot him, hitting both of his feet. He was about to buy something inside a motor parts trading shop when the gunmen attacked, Claretto said. Police recovered at the crime scene 9 empty shells of an undetermined caliber and 2 deformed slugs believed to be from a .45 caliber pistol. The Midsayap police is still conducting an investigation into the incident. The victim said he has no known enemies and had not received any threats to his life. An incumbent vice mayor was arrested in an anti-drug operation in Barangay North Poblacion, Ginsilaban, Camiguin on Tuesday, the Philippine Drug Enforcement Agency said Wednesday. In a statement, PDEA said authorities implemented a search warrant in Purok 3, Barangay North Poblacion that led to the arrest of the 66-year-old suspect identified as Tata. Seized during the operation were 5 heat-sealed plastic sachets containing a white crystalline substance believed to be shabu worth around 102,000 pesos. Also recovered were a 9mm pistol with a magazine, 22 rounds of live ammunition, 2 mobile phones, and assorted drug paraphernalia. According to PDEA, the suspect will face charges for possession of dangerous drugs and drug paraphernalia under the Comprehensive Dangerous Drugs Act of 2002. PDEA assures the public that all individuals involved in illegal drug activities, regardless of position or status, will be held accountable under the law, the agency said. PDEA remains steadfast in its commitment to intensify nationwide anti-drug operations in pursuit of a safer, drug-free Philippines under the vision of Bagang Pilipinas, it added. A town councillor in the Bangsamoro Autonomous Region in Muslim Mindanao was shot dead by 2 men who spoke with him before the attack in front of his home in Paglat, Maguindanao del Sur Wednesday morning. Captain Nelson Pedrico, Paglat Police Chief, identified the slain official as Salmon Kitalok, a resident of Barangay Poblacion, Paglat, about 15 kilometers from here. The initial police investigation report revealed that 2 men on a motorbike arrived at Kitalok's house and had a brief conversation with him at around 6 p.m. A few minutes later, one of the 2 men shot Kitalok at close range, killing him on the spot. Police found 6 empty shells for an unidentified pistol. Colonel Salman Sapal, Maguindanao del Sur Police Director, has ordered a manhunt against the suspects. The Sandigan has affirmed with modification the graft conviction of several former officers of the Philippine National Police in the irregular procurement of parts and repair services for V-150 light armored vehicles in 2007. Former Police Sergeant Superintendent Emmanuel D. Ojeda, Police Sergeant Superintendent Ruel Levin B. Labrado, Police Superintendent Josefina B. Dumanu, Police Chief Inspector Annalie R. Foro, SPO4 Victor M. Padeo, Police Superintendent Henry Y. Duke, Police Superintendent Walito T. Tuban, Non-Uniformed Personnel Supply Accountable Officer Yulito T. Fuentes, and Property Inspector Alex R. Beramido were found guilty of violations of Section 3(e) of Republic Act No. 3019, the Anti-Graft and Corrupt Practices Act, in a decision dated the 11th of December, 2025. They were sentenced to 6 to 10 years imprisonment with perpetual disqualification from holding public office for each graft conviction. They were also ordered to indemnify the PNP by way of civil indemnity the amounts of 29,997,000 pesos and 53,900,000 pesos with interest of 6% per annum. They filed their motions for reconsideration. In resolving the motions, the Sandigan affirmed their imprisonment but deleted their civil liability. In their motions, they allege that the evidence against them is wanting and does not justify a finding of guilt. They also alleged that many of them lacked authority during the critical stages of procurement and disbursement, and they had no custody of the funds and no authority to approve payments. In denying the motion, the court said, "It is worth noting that all motions filed by the accused merely rehashed the issues and arguments that have already been resolved and given due consideration by this court. No new substantial matter is presented to justify a reversal of the assailed decision." But the court said that those convicted should not be held civilly liable. It agreed to modify and do away with its earlier ruling insofar as the civil liabilities of Ojeda, Labrado, Tuban, Dumanu, Foro, Padeo, Fuentes, Duke, and Beramido are concerned. A more circumspect re-evaluation of the records, however, reveals that the factual and legal basis for such civil liability are wanting. The court ruled. It said that the private supplier, RJP, which was ultimately acquitted, received payments directly from the PNP. There was no evidence that established that the accused appropriated or pocketed any portion from the amounts paid to RJP. It also said, the 37-page resolution dated the 16th of March, 2026 was written by Chairperson Associate Justice Michael Frederick L. Musangi with the concurrence of Associate Justices Laura Phil L. Pahimna and J. Ermin Ernest Louis R. Miguel of the Court's Special 4th Division. That's all for this week. I'll see you next Friday with more stories of corruption and foolishness within the Philippine government.